All right, guys, welcome back. So now that we've used the last few lectures to better understand SEM and paid advertising, I want to jump into Google AdWords and show you how to get started and how to set up a campaign of your own. Now, I'll spread this out over a group of lectures because honestly, some of these details get really kind of in the weeds. But I want to start by jumping into AdWords and talking you through the first bunch of options you'll need to consider, focusing on the type of campaign you want to run right up to the point where you start figuring out your bids and your budget. All right, so let's get started at the very beginning. Now, log into Google AdWords or create an account if you haven't already. It's really easy, adwords.google.com. Don't worry, I'll wait for you. Once you're logged in, you might see a big Create Your First Campaign button, and you might want to press that thing. But before you do, let's just talk about a few things you need to think about before you actually click it. First off, you want to consider what you want out of your advertising efforts, so start with a goal. Be specific about what you want to accomplish. Do you want people to visit your website? Do you want them to buy something on your website? Do you want them to complete a form on your website? Do you just want them to visit your business in person? Or do you just want them to see an ad or promotion for something you offer in general? Each campaign needs to be focused, like on one product or one goal. If you want to increase sales of two different products, like your, let's say, custom iPhone cases and light switch plates, well, then you probably want to run two different campaigns. Same goes if you want to increase sales of your iPhone cases, but also use ads to drive foot traffic to your new physical store. If you have multiple goals, well, use multiple campaigns. So what is your goal? Now, Google has different campaign types for you to choose from. Choosing the right one depends on which customers you want to reach and how. For example, you might want to target customers who are actively searching for a product or a solution to something. If that matches the kind of campaign you want to run, you probably want to run a search network campaign. Or you might want to do a campaign using Google's display network. Now, there are millions of websites who have partnered with Google to show advertising on their site. Sometimes it's text, sometimes it's images or graphics. Now, they show ads from the display network, and they could be text, they could be banners like graphics, or they could be video. If you want to reach all the potential customers on those websites, a display network campaign would be your choice. That's going to get you a lot of coverage. Now, if you only do search engine result searches, well, then you're only going after people who have gone to Google and are searching for something. Or here's a third option. You can actually do both. There's an option to do campaigns for the search network with display network added in. And if you're really not sure which network is right for you, it's probably easier just to pick both and then see if one performs better than the other. Usually it's the case that one will do a lot better for you. Now, there's a few other types available as well. One specifically for advertising products you want to sell, which they call a shopping campaign, video-only ads in a video campaign, or promoting an app in what they call a universal app campaign. For now, we're just going to focus on search and display just because we have to start somewhere. And when you choose your campaign type, you also get to choose between standard and all features. Now, standard is more straightforward and the simplest way to get an ad up and running. When you're more comfortable with the platform, you might want to explore then the all features option to customize your ad and targeting, and then do a whole lot of other advanced functions. For now, I'm just going to go with standard. From this point, my options are pretty straightforward. Under networks, I'll keep both of them checked, Google Search and Google Display. For devices, it says ads will show on all eligible devices by default, so that's perfectly fine with me. We'll figure out my ad formats later on. For locations, I'm cool with US and Canada. Maybe you'd have, different opinions on that one, but I'm gonna stick with this. Obviously, if you sell an online digital good, you could sell it anywhere. It doesn't matter what location you go after, but you might want to restrict yourself based on language. And speaking of language, well, I speak English and I expect my customers are probably going to also speak English. Now, if you have different needs, obviously just click on edit and you'll see all the choices they've got. And unfortunately, I don't speak any of those other languages. So if you don't speak English, good luck watching these lectures. Anyway, the next section here is bid strategy, and honestly, the bidding stuff gets pretty detailed and takes a bit of explanation. So let's save that for our next lecture, shall we? All right, guys, I'll see you in the next lecture.